Welcome to Forever Strong Seniors, where we talk honestly about the joys and challenges of growing older with grace. Today's video comes from the heartfelt reflections of a retired professor, someone who spent decades studying life and teaching others, only to realize that the most valuable lessons often come after 65. Some of these truths are painful, others may open your eyes, but all of them are meant to help you live a more peaceful, dignified, and meaningful life in your golden years. Many people have shed tears hearing these words. I hope you'll listen closely, because one of them might just change how you live the rest of your life. Hi there. I'm so glad you're here. If you're over 60, or even approaching it, there's a good chance you've started to feel how different life becomes after retirement. The noise quiets, the pace slows, and suddenly, what once seemed urgent now feels distant. But what often remains, and sometimes grows louder, are the regrets, the worries, and the hidden pains we never voiced out loud. So today, I want to pass on 13 life-changing lessons from someone who's been through it all. These aren't meant to scold or scare you. They're here to help you avoid unnecessary hardship, preserve your peace, and maybe, just maybe, find a little more joy in each day. Let's begin with something that might feel uncomfortable, but it needs to be said. First, never let your children be in the dark about your finances. That doesn't mean you have to give them full control or share every detail. But too many family conflicts, especially in later life, come from misunderstandings or secrets around money. In fact, nearly 70% of legal disputes among family members over estates come down to poor communication. I remember reading about a heartbreaking case in rural Pennsylvania where 3 siblings were fighting over their late mother's house. The youngest daughter, feeling cheated, set fire to the home in a moment of rage. She lost her life in the fire, and the family was torn apart forever. Your money is hard-earned. It's meant to support your dignity, not fuel your children's conflicts. Be honest, be clear, and if needed, put things in writing early on. Second, don't waste your energy fighting with your spouse at this age. Let's be real. Once we hit 60, most of our friends have their own families to care for. The one person still beside you day and night is often your life partner. And yet, how many couples waste their final decades bickering over petty things? There's a beautiful saying, when we're young, marriage is about love. When we're old, it's about loyalty. Your spouse is your history. They know your stories. They've seen your struggles. Now is the time to cherish each other, to support instead of criticize, to forgive more quickly. Don't let small arguments rob you of the comfort you both deserve. Third, don't exhaust yourself raising your grandchildren full-time. This one might sting for some of us. We love our grandkids. Of course we do. But studies show over 60% of grandparents who care for grandchildren regularly feel physically and emotionally drained. You're not just tired. You're often underappreciated, and sometimes even taken for granted. And here's the hard truth. The younger generation doesn't always think like we do. You might give everything, your time, your money, your health, but that doesn't guarantee they'll understand the sacrifice. So please, love your grandkids, play with them, support when you can, but don't feel guilty for putting your well-being first. Your health is not just for you, it's for your children too. They'll need you healthy more than they need free babysitting. Fourth, if you're living alone, think twice before getting married again. Now, I know this one's controversial, and sure, companionship is beautiful, but later life relationships come with their own challenges. You've spent decades building your own rhythm, habits, and values. Bringing someone new into that space, especially someone with a lifetime of their own habits, can create more tension than peace. Often, second marriages at this stage bring unexpected arguments over money, living styles, and even adult children's opinions. You may find yourself losing the very freedom you thought you'd gained. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is simply enjoy your solitude. Travel, garden, dance, read, whatever brings you joy, without having to compromise it for someone new. Fifth, don't be quick to sell your home, even if your children suggest it. That house you've lived in for years, it's more than wood and nails. It's where your memories live. It's where birthdays were celebrated, where tears were shed, where laughter echoed through the halls. No matter how tempting the offer, no matter how sweet the persuasion, hold on to that space as long as you can, Because once it's gone, so is the comfort, the familiarity, the feeling of safety. Remember, a home is not just shelter, it's your anchor. And now, let's turn to something just as vital, but often overlooked. Why it's important to stay independent from your children, how long you should really stay at their house, and what you should never expect from them as they grow older. Stay with me, because the next few lessons may surprise you. In the last part, we talked about how important it is to protect your peace, whether it's by being clear about your finances, respecting your marriage, or choosing solitude over unnecessary stress. Now let's keep going, because growing older doesn't mean fading away. It means being wise enough to protect your time, your energy, and your dignity. Let's move on to the sixth lesson. Even if your children are close to you, never forget the law of the blackbird. That may sound poetic, but stay with me. You see, in nature, when a baby bird has grown enough to fly, the mother bird gently pushes it out of the nest. It's not cruelty, it's survival. She knows the baby must learn to fly on its own. The same is true for us. You've raised your children. You've done your part. And now, they must walk their own path, even if that path looks different from what you expected. Don't rely completely on them for your happiness, your decisions, or your stability. The truth is, they may not always be there when you need them. That's not always out of neglect. It's just the way life flows. They have their own families, careers, and obligations. Staying independent is one of the greatest gifts you can give both yourself and your children. It eases their burden and preserves your pride. Now, this brings us to the seventh lesson, and it may sound a little blunt. Don't stay in your children's home for more than 3 days. It's not because they don't love you. It's because every household runs on a rhythm, and long stays, even with the best intentions, can throw that rhythm off. There's an old saying, guests like fish begin to smell after 3 days. Even if they don't say it, your children might feel strained by the change in routine. Your presence may unintentionally disrupt their private space, their parenting style, or their daily habits. So what's the solution? Keep your visits short, sweet, and joyful. Let them miss you a little. Leave while the laughter is still warm, not when the tension starts to show. It keeps the relationship strong and respectful. Eighth, don't place too many expectations on your children after they get married. This is a tough one. After all, you raised them. You may have sacrificed your youth, your sleep, your comfort, all to give them a better life. It's natural to hope they'll care for you in return. But here's the truth. Their lives are no longer yours to manage. They're building a new home with new responsibilities. The more we expect, the more we feel let down. And disappointment, especially in old age, weighs heavy on the heart. There's a better way. Release the expectations, and you'll find freedom. Like flying a kite, when you loosen the string, it soars higher. Give them space, and you may find they come back to you with more love than before. Let me share a story here. One of our subscribers, Mary from Illinois, once told us about her son, who rarely called after his marriage. She used to cry every week, wondering what she did wrong. One day, she stopped calling altogether and decided to focus on gardening and painting, her two forgotten passions. A month later, her son called on his own, just to check in. She realized, when you stop chasing love, sometimes it finds its way back. Ninth, don't let unresolved issues steal your sleep. Sleep at this age is sacred. But how many of us go to bed replaying old arguments, regrets, or things we wish we had said differently? Here's a little truth that's changed many lives. Sometimes the best way to solve a problem is to sleep on it. What feels huge at night often shrinks by morning. So when the clock hits bedtime, give yourself permission to let go. Write it down if you must, then promise yourself, I'll think about this tomorrow. You're not ignoring it. You're protecting your peace. And that's worth everything. 10th, don't waste your remaining years worrying about things you can't control. Maybe your daughter's not saving money the way you taught her. Maybe your grandson's glued to his phone. Maybe your neighbor's dog won't stop barking. You can speak up once, maybe twice, but if nothing changes, step back. Obsessing won't help. It only drains your energy and shortens your days. There's a comforting old saying, your children's destiny belongs to them. They have their lessons to learn, just as you had yours. Let go a little. Call them often. Encourage them. Be present, not controlling. Peace comes when you realize not everything needs your hand in it. And before we wrap up this part, let me leave you with a thought. The happiest seniors I've met aren't those with perfect families or spotless health records. They're the ones who've learned what to hold on to and what to let go of. Now, we'll explore how overworking yourself, even in small ways, can hurt your long-term health, why being too frugal might rob you of joy, and how to protect your most valuable asset, your health. Stay with me, because these next lessons could help you reclaim your time, your joy, and your strength. So far, we've touched on some powerful reminders about independence, boundaries, and emotional balance. But as we continue, I want to shift our focus a bit, from how we deal with others to how we treat ourselves. Because sometimes the biggest mistakes we make in old age come from within. Let's start with the 11th lesson. Don't push your body beyond its limits. It's natural to want to stay useful. Maybe you feel guilty resting when the house needs cleaning. Maybe you still try to do the heavy lifting, the errands, or care for someone else even when your own body is asking for rest. But here's the truth. Your body is not what it used to be. And that's okay. Aging doesn't mean failure. It means change. And with that change comes a new responsibility, to respect your limits. I once spoke with a man named George, a 72-year-old retired mechanic from Minnesota. One winter, he shoveled snow from his entire driveway alone, refusing to ask for help. That night, he collapsed from exhaustion and ended up in the ER with a mild heart attack. He said to me later, "It's funny. I thought asking for help made me look weak. Turns out, pretending I didn't need help almost killed me." So please, listen to your body. When you're tired, rest. If something hurts, get it checked. And if a task can be done tomorrow or with help, let it wait. Your health isn't just important, it's everything. Which brings us naturally to the 12th lesson. Don't be so frugal that you miss out on joy. We come from a generation that saved everything. We reused jars, turned off lights in empty rooms, patched up clothes instead of buying new. And there's honor in that. But life isn't only about sacrifice. Many of us saved and saved, hoping to enjoy it later. But now, later is here, and we're still holding back. There's a story I love about a woman named Evelyn, who kept a beautiful silk scarf in her drawer for over 20 years. She said she was saving it for a special day. When she finally passed, her daughter found it, still in its wrapping, never worn. If not now, then when? Eat the cake. Take the trip. Buy the comfortable chair. Enjoy the little pleasures while you still can. After all, you earned them. Don't let life's sweetest moments pass you by just because you were too careful to say yes. Now, we've come to perhaps the most important point of all. The 13th and final lesson. Your health is your greatest wealth. More than your house, more than your retirement fund, more than your possessions. Your health is the foundation for everything else. Without it, nothing feels secure. You can't enjoy your family gatherings, your hobbies, or your travels if your body is breaking down. You can't think clearly or sleep peacefully if you're in constant discomfort. So take care of yourself, like you would take care of something precious. Eat balanced meals, even if they're simple. Get enough sleep, and protect your peace before bedtime. Move your body, gently, regularly. Even a 15-minute walk a day can make a world of difference. And above all, don't skip your checkups. Don't ignore symptoms. Don't pretend you're fine when you're not. Think of your health like the roots of a tree. If the roots are strong, the branches thrive. And when you thrive, the people who love you feel peace too. Let me wrap up this section with a little summary. Just 3 simple things that can make all the difference. Eat well and consistently. Sleep enough with quality rest. Keep a cheerful heart and don't carry unnecessary stress. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But these 3 habits can add years to your life. And more importantly, life to your years. Let's wrap this up with one final, important truth. We'll explore 3 important boundaries every older adult should set. What not to interfere in, what not to lend, and what not to waste energy on. These lessons come from a lifetime of wisdom and may protect your dignity more than you realize. So stay with me, We're almost at the end, but these next few insights might just be the most eye-opening of all. We've come a long way together, from protecting your peace to prioritizing your health. We've uncovered 13 powerful lessons for anyone walking the path of aging with grace. But before we close, there's one last group of insights that deserve special attention, because they protect your dignity and your relationships more than almost anything else. They are the 3 things seniors should not interfere in, and the 3 types of money seniors should never lend. These may seem simple on the surface, but their impact runs deep. Let's begin with the first boundary. Don't interfere in your children's decisions about buying cars, homes, or other major life choices. You might have more experience. You might even have better judgment, but unsolicited advice, especially when it comes with conditions, often backfires. Let's say your son wants to buy a brand new SUV, but you think it's too expensive. If you insist he buy something smaller, he might feel controlled. Worse, if you help pay and the car has problems, you'll be blamed. In short, help when asked, guide gently, but don't insist on your way. Because when adult children make their own decisions, even their mistakes become lessons. And when they succeed on their own, they gain confidence and respect for you as someone who trusts them. The second boundary: don't get involved in extended family conflicts. Whether it's tension between siblings, cousins fighting over land, or disagreements about caregiving, step back. Even with the best intentions, stepping in usually brings more stress than resolution. A senior friend once told me, "Every time I try to play peacemaker between my brothers, I ended up the villain in someone's story." And she was right, because when money or pride is involved, logic often disappears. Your peace matters. So unless you're specifically asked, and even then, only gently, stay neutral. Let them figure it out themselves. The third boundary: don't interfere in your friends' or children's marriages. Relationships are complicated. You may see red flags. You may want to fix things. But getting in the middle of a couple's problems can damage your bond with both. Even if they come to you to vent, your role is to listen, not judge or advise unless asked directly. Remember, spouses may argue one day and reconcile the next. But if you took sides, you might be left out in the cold. Now let's move into financial territory, equally delicate, but just as important. Here are 3 types of money seniors should not lend, unless it's a real emergency. First, don't lend money unless it's for serious illness or a natural disaster. You may want to help everyone, especially people you love. But the money you've saved over decades? That's not extra. It's your future. Once you're past retirement, you no longer have the same opportunity to rebuild your finances. You're in preservation mode. And sadly, money given in kindness is often repaid with silence. If someone truly needs help due to a medical crisis or a fire, and you can afford to assist, do it as a gift, not a loan. But for regular bills, shopping, or investment schemes, politely decline. Your security must come first. Second, don't lend money for others to invest. A neighbor promises high returns. A cousin says it's a sure thing. But financial markets are unpredictable, even more so with age. You've already done your working years. You shouldn't be gambling your peace of mind now. If an opportunity sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And if they insist, wish them well, but from a distance. Third, don't lend money you're not prepared to lose. This may be the hardest rule of all. Even the kindest people can disappoint us when money's involved. Lending money often shifts a relationship from love to tension. It creates a power imbalance, unmet expectations, and silent resentment. So ask yourself honestly, if I never see this money again, will I still be okay? If the answer is no, don't lend. And if you do, make it a gift from the heart, not a debt that burdens the relationship. Let me end with one final reflection. As we age, we don't just become older, we become wiser. But wisdom means knowing when to act and when to let go. It means setting boundaries that protect your heart, your time, and your legacy. You've walked through life storms. You've earned your peace. Don't let anyone, no matter how close, steal it away. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Speech balloon, which one of these 13 lessons resonated with you the most? Have you faced any of these challenges yourself? Let us know in the comments below. Your story might help someone else find clarity too. And if this video gave you something to think about, please check out the other videos on our channel, Forever Strong Seniors. We're here every week with honest, heartwarming, and practical advice for living your best life after 60 and beyond. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, be well, stay strong, and keep living with purpose.